If invited to the stage, you may ask your question. All questions must remain on topic. Some may be answered, some may not be.
Hey, Capo. Thanks for having me. My question is, if one has been conditioned to be like a business person, if they don't really want it, is there any other option of approaching that, of becoming wealthy or like the highest in business? If they don't want it, but their mind fights them all the time about it, is that just conditioning, or does it?
Hello. My question is, what individual characteristic or quality best enables somebody to rise to the top of their given domain, spanning all domains, not specific to sports, art, business, but spans all of them? What individual characteristic?
What type of thing are you looking for?
Maybe something that's not innate but could be trained or learned.
And that's what I thought you were looking for. Therefore, no answer will suffice for you.
I could I hope you can hear me. When on the path to arriving, will one always feel like doing the things that they may need to do to get to where they want to get to? I don't know if I've been confusing myself or if I was under a false notion that even sincere seekers um, always feel, you know, like doing what they, everything that they are doing on their path, on their journey, and that it's not a journey of struggle like those striving for success. Um, I hope I'm not trying to. As I'm saying this now, I guess sounds like I'm trying to like live up to something, some kind of ideal, or just.
Hi, Kapil. What is success in art?
How to best react to critics of parents and elders.
Hi, Kapil. Thank you for doing this. There is something that I don't fully understand about greatness, and I'm not trying to oppose it, but it's not clear for me. So here's the thing. You always say that bettering your self-image, for example, doesn't bring greatness, right? Because it comes from beyond that. But I read something you wrote about one enjoys success, other enjoys struggle. So where does that come from? Like people who are great, like how their mind works and how maybe they transcend it. I don't know.
Never look at anybody who is great. It won't. It won't teach you anything. It'll just make you try to follow a bunch of nonsensical characteristics, and that won't go anywhere.
Hi, Kapil. Thank you as always. My question is related to the sport of boxing, which I've trained over the last year. And my question relates to accessing skills and techniques. Because, in the context of a physical sport, when stress and fatigue set in, although I've hit a bag and I've practiced my defense thousands of times, when the stress and fatigue sets in the ring, in the real situation, the access seems to be the problem.
So what are you trying to do with boxing? Where are you trying to take it?
There's not really a goal. I've always trained in different combat sports
So you're
forever.
just doing it for recreation.
I wouldn't say recreation, it's more an exploration of the craft of combat sports in general. Um, yeah,
Are you trying to take it to somewhere of the highest level?
I'm not sure.
Okay, then it's just recreation, and therefore to me personally, it's uninteresting.
Hi, when exposed to the truth, I find myself using the mind to understand certain truths about the mind, but I'm also aware that the engagement with the mind is what creates the turmoil to begin with. I don't quite.
What is it about human nature that makes the top 1 to 2% of people in most fields still compare themselves relative to other people rather than in absolute terms?
Well, that's just the way they've been conditioned. So you've been taught something since you came into this world, and that's the only thing that you've heard. It would be unreasonable to expect that one not look at things through that lens.
Hello, thank you again. What role does luck play in elite performance?
Hello, Kapil. Is the reason for not aiming for the highest heights because of the conditioning or because we don't really desire it?
That's different for everybody, and everyone is conditioned in more or less the same way. Yet some individuals still desire it. So one cannot blame the conditioning entirely for that, because if it was that, then even those individuals would not desire it. But the conditioning, all that the conditioning teaches, is lies. Now that just, as for the desire, it just depends if it's in the DNA of the individual, um, to seek to ascend to those heights, um, regardless of conditioning.
Hi, Kapil. Thank you. I just wanted to ask, how do you know if someone is a good teacher or if someone is teaching you what is necessary to grow in your field?
Why do you ask the question?
I mean,
I think I know, but why do you ask the question?
because I'm into poker, like I'm trying to learn poker, and I've been trying to pick things off of great players, but I don't really know because many a times you come across two players who are saying the exact opposite. So how would you know who is actually, the better one who can like?
That's why I said never look at people
Okay.
who are good at what they do. You won't learn anything.
So how?
So, but you asked about teachers.
Yeah.
So you have someone teaching you? Is that what the issue is?
No, someone's not teaching me. I'm just learning off of great players. That's all what I'm trying to do.
So then why did you ask? How can you tell if someone's a good teacher? I mean, the great player is not a teacher. So why did you ask that question?
Okay, sorry. I guess I was wrong.
Well, why are you wrong? You asked the question. Why did you ask about a teacher if you don't have a teacher?
I mean, I don't, but like if I'm learning off of someone's videos, I think that's a teacher to me, right?
But are they trying to teach you, or is that something that, like in those videos, are they trying to teach
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
or are they? Okay, they're trying to teach you
Yeah.
from the video. They're trying to show you how they're doing it.
Correct.
Yeah, it'll never work. I mean, those things are stupid. That they have no meaning. Like those commercials when someone does a flop shot in golf, and they say all you do is this and this,
Mm-hmm.
and the person tries it himself and he blades the ball over the green.
Right.
So everything you have to understand, if you are considering wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
um, then you have to understand that everything that you hear in the world is nonsense. Everything is garbage. All YouTube videos, all courses, all mastermind courses, meetings, conferences, schools, institutions, books,
Mm-hmm.
media, speakers, priests, pundits, gurus, professionals, coaches, teachers. Everyone talks trash. No one knows anything.
Then who
Now,
knows
now,
the truth?
now, who knows the truth is the person who invests his life in the truth. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then, so then, if you want to find the ultimate teacher, then
Mm-hmm.
you must ask, who is the individual who has devoted his life to the truth? Because whatever a person devotes his life to,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he gets. That's pretty basic. So if that is the case, and you are looking for the truth, then you must find the individual who has devoted his life to truth. And in finding that individual, you will have found the closest thing you will ever get to truth. So it isn't the question of is the information correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll never know that, and it'll always be wrong in some form or another. So the individual who has found his own way of doing things and he has become highly proficient at it, he can't teach you how to do that.
Correct.
Fine, if it's turning on a computer or turning a screw,
Hmm.
or maybe even tying a shoelace, something mechanical, yeah. But there's no greatest in the world shoelace tire, and there's no greatest in the world. So it just so happens that even those things that can be taught, they don't have any
I get
meaning
you.
anyways.
Right.
So teachers and coaching and people who come on and tell you how they do it and learn like them and success leaves clues, unless an individual is willing to, unless an individual has a desire for wisdom, unless an individual is serious about learning the reality behind things, then he will simply be chasing one YouTube video versus another and listening to nonsensical coaches and mastermind meetings and blogs and schlogs and glogs. That's he'll spend his whole life chasing nonsense, and he only has a limited life to begin with. He only has an X number of years to live, and
Mm-hmm.
all those years will be wasted because they will never, ever, never in the future of time ever come to fruition as as the as the wide expanse of history has taught. I mean, these books and these YouTube videos and these coachings and these mastermind, they've been around for many years, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't just start yesterday, right? So there's a track record. So find out, um, can you find anyone, even one, can you find anyone who has watched a YouTube video of a world-class X player, whatever that X may be,
Mm-hmm.
and became world-class himself from watching the video? Go find an example.
I really think that's how it works. I mean,
Thanks, couple. I understand that this reliance on teachers is a consequence of a culture that conditions us to rely on prescriptions. But does that mean that there is no value in learning from others, whether it be your colleagues, mentors, people who are ahead?
So this is not a question. This is not a question. This is a sideways angle comment that you're trying to wedge in there your own opinion and your own belief and your own stance and your own ties to believing that learning from others and all this crap is important. It's not a question. You already believe that, and that's fine. There's no one here, certainly not me, who's going to try to deter you from that. But that isn't a real question.
How do I distinguish between people who have dedicated their life to pursuing some truth or identifying the truth and the charlatans who make it seem like they have or are
Well,
trying to.
no. Well, first of all, I don't think anyone is seeming to do anything. I don't think anyone's out there
Hmm,
um, stating or seeming or advertising or marketing that they are looking for truth. That doesn't exist.
okay.
Who's doing that?
No. Yeah.
Right? I'm not telling you this. You can see for yourself. You don't have to believe me. They're just doing their thing, right? They're coaching baseball or they're talking about commerce, or they're teaching finance, whatever the issue. They're not saying, like, they're not professing to truth or any kind of devotion to anything. So if there's a bunch of people doing that who were out there professing their devotion to truth, then you could ask that question and say, well, how do I know that? But no one's even doing that. I mean, they're not even going that far, right? They're not even taking that step.
So how would I do that?
But having said that, I'm not saying that people are charlatans. Sure, they're out there, but I'm not. The majority of people are not charlatans. The majority of people are not, even the coaches and all these, the pundits and the gurus and the books, self help and the spirituality. No, like, the majority of people are not trying to screw people. They're just not.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are well meaning, well intentioned. They just don't have the DNA for it. They're just out there trying to make a buck. And nothing wrong with it. I will never blame anyone for trying to make a buck. Make $10, make $4 billion. Not a problem. I will never, uh, you know, downplay someone for doing that.
I've been
But
struggling with that. Like I don't feel like I'm speaking
well,
truth, so I've been having trouble, charging for my own coaching.
well, that's a separate issue. But the point I'm responding to your specific
Yeah.
question about charlatanism, and I don't believe that most people are charlatans. It is just that they're culturalized like the individuals that they're trying to teach. So they themselves have been abused. Therefore, they pass on that abuse by not intending to abuse, but that abuse meaning lies. It's misinformation. It's half truths. It's prescriptions and methods and techniques and ha 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 and ba ba ba. It's all nonsense. It's crap. And the evidence for that fact is that the vast majority of human beings in the world are wildly unsuccessful. And a significant percentage of the world undergoes coaching and schooling and teaching and all of these things, and they're still wildly unsuccessful. So no one ever needs to believe me or take my word or faith. Everything is out the window for you to look at. Just look out the window. And you don't have to look out, just look in the mirror. You have been through these same things yourself. These are not wild prophecies. This is what happens every single day in one's own experience. So everyone is conditioned, and that conditioning is simply passed on by way of proxy. So the question isn't which teacher do I. The question is what type of conditioning would you like? Okay,
Wow.
it's all the same soup. Do you want blue soup, green soup, red soup? And one of the most fundamental things that is very, very difficult, and understandably so, that it is difficult to almost virtually impossible for a human being to arrive at in this lifetime, is the notion that everyone out there is speaking crap. Like, that'll never happen, because it's too wildly vast, and it's too big, because the mind will tell you, no, no, that's not true. There's a percentage out there who are speaking the truth and who are devoted, and everyone can't be wrong, and everyone can't just be selling lies, not intentionally, but everyone can't just be. You won't get over that, because, like, that doubt that it's all trash, it'll never happen, because it's too extreme. It's too extreme for the human being to come to that. And the only way he can come to that, if he ever can, is actually quite simple. If he simply examines his own experiences. He's already been through the show. He's already been through the ringer. But the reason he continues on, though, is because he believes somewhere in his head that, well, I just haven't found the right guy yet. I haven't found the right book yet. I haven't found the right teacher yet. I haven't found the right method yet. There's a technique out there. There's a prescription out there. I just haven't found it yet. And that's what keeps him going. And that's what spells his doom.
Hi there, Kapil. I've seen this pattern in my life that I've experienced anytime I enter into a new endeavor, whether it's playing in sports. I played football in college, whether it's in the business world now, or any type of art creation that I did for fun. It starts out as an extremely pure endeavor, and at first I enjoy it. I'm engaged in the experience and completely, engulfed in it, and everything is exactly how I want it to be. But inevitably I turn this into a me versus the world situation where I'm trying to prove everybody wrong. For example, as I started playing football and proving myself through the ranks, it became I just want to prove myself to everybody that I belong here. And as soon as I get to the point where I get that validation from people, um, I lose interest completely and lose touch with the purity of the thing itself that I once loved and once enjoyed, and no longer feel like I could do it anymore. So, I mean, my question is, did I lose the? I'm guessing I lost the purity at the point when I started looking for validation or kind of proving.
Kapil, did you hear any of that?
No.
Sorry, my microphone was not on. Hello, Kapil. My question is whether it is necessary to have a sense of dissatisfaction or unpeace until you reach whatever the highest of heights is, or whether it can be accomplished without stress.
It doesn't really matter. It just matters whatever you're experiencing. Because if I was to say yes to that, then you'd wait around for it.
Is there anything besides DNA that allows the top person in their art who practices their art and achieves absolute success beyond any
So
relative
what else?
performance?
What else do you think it could? What else do you think it might be then?
Circumstances,
Meaning?
life circumstances. Someone faces a lot
Meaning?
of hardship and they got a chip on their shoulder growing up.
So would that not be a DNA? Would that not be a DNA
No,
to overcome all
that's
odds,
different.
no
Nature
matter
versus
what?
nurture.
No.
Hey, so do you believe that prior to um, consciousness we live in truth, and that any um, organism that I guess reaches the point of consciousness is kind of battle truth?
This question might be off topic. Um, if I have sight and I just realize that everything around me is a distraction, and it feel what
I have been scared my entire life. I am fearful of everything that I do, every decision that I make. Most of my life, I have been dominated by the emotion of fear. That is stopping me somehow from living my life personally, I think. So why am I so scared of everything? Why do I fear so much?
Hi, Kapil. Um, just wondering why is it so hard to communicate the truth or discern the truth in high pressure situations like a job interview or a big game?
What causes a person to not feel worthy of achieving the highest of heights in sports, business, or art?
Do most people not realize their full potential?
You're the only person that matters as far as your life goes. For most people, it has no meaning. So you could direct the question towards yourself.